I feel like I should say something, but I forgot what it is. What the fuck? What the hell? What the hell is that noise? The noise was coming from here. What the hell is this? Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? What is this? What the fuck is this? Why is there so much tinfoil on here? What the fuck is this? What is going on? What is this? Somebody help!
Hello, Mikey. You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game. You are a perfectly healthy, young, sane male, yet you spend your time mindlessly and regretfully playing video games. For a year and a half now,
How does he know about this shit?
Reviewing and telling your thoughts on said video games on your little YouTube show. Do you review these games because you simply believe death is your only option? Or do you just want some attention? Tonight, you will show me by playing and reviewing this game.
What?
My name, bitch. Saw on the Xbox 360. If you choose to revolt with my game, the shackles around your neck and your wrists will detonate. So what will it be, Mikey? Live or die? Make your choice.
Well, I guess I have no fucking choice but to play the game.
Saw, one of the most iconic horror franchises of all time.
You wanna play a little game?
For those of you who are uncultured and have been living under a rock or are completely unaware, Saw is a series of horror films sporting 10 movies, with an 11th one coming out soon, about a killer named Jigsaw, or John Kramer, who kidnaps people who have wronged others and puts them through deadly games. According to Jigsaw's ideology, theoretically, if they survive, they'll learn to appreciate life. With something as big as Saw, you know there's going to be a lot of things to promote the series. Movies, horror attractions, a comic book, parodies, and in today's case, video games.
There's only 2.
And thus, on October 6th of 2009, we finally got Saw the video game.
And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about for today's episode. Do I really have to? Fine.
Now, I'm not a huge fan of the Saw films, but I will say the introduction to the story is pretty interesting. You wake up in the iconic bathroom without knowing how you got there or what's going on. And you have to get out of the iconic reverse bear trap. Right off the bat, I will say there will be blood. You play as Detective David Tapp from the first film. After losing his partner and going completely off the rails with his obsession with catching Jigsaw, somehow he managed to destroy the lives of all these people around him. As a result, he's been kidnapped by Jigsaw and brought into an abandoned asylum to complete the most elaborate series of tasks to get through some kind of redemption. Like I said before, there will be blood. Early on in the game, you'll learn that you're not the only one stuck in this hellhole, and if there's one thing that I'll give this game credit for, is that the fact that whenever you're moving in the asylum, you can come across these rooms where other people clearly failed and met their demises. Just like in the movies! Now, the other kinds of pain that Jigsaw has you go through is also suitably distressing, like wiggling your hand around to find a key in a syringe-filled toilet, or dipping your entire arm into a fucking barrel of acid. Kinda like in Saw 3. Now, your ultimate goal here, and the point for all of this, is that Tap has to rescue 6 other people being held captive inside the asylum, whom all have some link to Tap's past and his investigations into Jigsaw. Some of these characters are from the movies, like Amanda Young, who would play a major role in the first 3 movies, and Saw X. And even Avi makes an appearance, you know, that character who had a minor role in Saw 2. These people also have their own trap that you have to free them from. And also something that most of them have in common is that they're fucking assholes. None of them show any type of gratitude for saving their life, and they just leave afterwards. They scold you for a minute, and then off they go.
I'm leaving, and I'm not sorry.
Are you crazy? I saved your life.
Oh, I would have been fine. I always am.
Anyways, once Tap has finally rescued these 6 main victims, you're given the choice of 2 different endings, truth or freedom. If any of you seen the Saw films, you already know that you're not gonna see anybody walking off into the sunset. Unless you count this final shot in Saw X. Is it sunset? Or is it sunrise? But I don't know what this is. Yeah, the game doesn't defy that tradition either. Now then, there's 2 different endings in the game, and both are fittingly depressing. The truth door leads to Tap killing his partner's wife, whom he thought was Jigsaw. Tap goes insane and ends up in an asylum that's not abandoned. However, he still believes he's in a Jigsaw game. The freedom door leads to Tap back into his apartment. He's proclaimed a hero by the people he's saved in the asylum. Yeah, after moments ago they were scolding you after you saved them. Unfortunately, Jigsaw still got away, which led to Tap committing suicide. This is the canonical ending, as it flows right through with the sequel. And yes, there is a sequel to this game. And there's also a scene in Saw 5 where it's confirmed that Tap is dead. Moving on to the gameplay, and honestly, it's kind of a mixed bag. Which is surprising because this game was developed by Konami, the same people who made one of the best video games franchises of all time, Metal Gear Solid, and of course, Silent Hill, which actually was the inspiration for this game's gameplay. And from what I heard, Konami also wanted this game to be a spiritual successor series to Silent Hill. Please tell me how this makes sense. How can a movie license be a successor to Silent fucking Hill? How does that make sense? So to start things off, you're mostly just walking around solving little mini puzzles and occasionally fighting guys and setting up traps and completing elaborate games which are kind of like boss fights. I'd also like to mention that there's also papers in the game that you can find throughout the game. I'm not sure what they do, but at least they give you a little more on the story. Now here's where I talk about my problems with the gameplay, starting with the puzzles. The puzzles are not bad per se, but they're also very, very repetitive. Once you get through like the 4th hour mark, you're gonna see these puzzles repeat over and over and over again. I'm surprised that I haven't gone insane while I was recording footage for this game. You can throw as many pipe puzzles, you can throw as many electric circuit puzzles as you want, Konami, but it's not going to make the game any better. It also doesn't help that the combat is also atrocious. I'm not kidding, this might be one of the worst combat gameplay that I've played in my entire life. The melee combat has huge button delay, and it also doesn't help that Tap is just very sluggish to control with. It's just very slow and not really all that responsive. There's also weapons like a baseball bat or a spiked baseball bat that you can use to make the damage a little quicker, but honestly, it doesn't really do any difference. In fact, the only good weapon is your fists. The way the weapons work kind of reminds me of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The more you use it, the more easier it's gonna break. Bottom line, gameplay is a mixed bag. There's some things that I like, but also things that I can't stand.
The graphics are so dark, I can't fucking see.
Gee whiz, I sure do love playing a game with piss-poor eyesight. I'm not even gonna talk about the soundtrack of the game. It's fine, it's just suspenseful, ominous music. There's no Hello Zep. In conclusion, Saw for the Xbox 360 is fine. It's fine, and I don't really have anything else to say. It's not a masterpiece, far from it, but it does its job well. If you like the Saw movies, and if you're a major fan of the franchise, go nuts with this game. Buy it or something. I don't care. It's your money. If you're willing to sacrifice a bit of good gameplay with sluggish combat, repetitive puzzles, then be my guest. And with that, I'm rating this a 6 out of 10. That's all I really want to say about Saw for the Xbox 360. It's nowhere near a masterpiece, but if you like the movies, then you'll probably like this. This has been another episode of Mikey's Reviews. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll probably see you guys with another game that's not this. Piece of shit off me.
Congratulations. You have completed the game, and you are still alive. People these days are so ungrateful to be alive. But not you.
Piss off, Jigsaw.